I got life in the West. Some things that happened in the West were the Pony Express, the Gold Rush, and a lot of the missions. The Pony Express had a lot to do with the West because that's how people communicated. The Gold Rush affected the West because that's how a lot of our settlers came into the West. The missions helped the West because that's how a lot of tourists and other people got to see the West during this time period. Also, if a lot of the stuff didn't happen, the West would be so much different. We probably wouldn't have UPS or any other mail service. We would probably not even know what a letter is because we would just go straight into technology. If we didn't have the gold rush, the population of the West would probably be half of what it is now because people wouldn't have settled here if they didn't know. And if we wouldn't have the missions, there would probably be no tourists in our area, or at least not as much as we have now. The Pony Express was a delivery system that sent letters in small packages all over the West. They also did this on horseback. The Pony Express traveled a long time just to give people letters. In that year and a half that this was happening, they traveled around 616,000 miles. They also did this day in and day out with only breaks to trade their horses or to eat. The Pony Express also affects our delivery system today. People probably wouldn't have any form of communication or know how to communicate until the phone was invented. People wouldn't know what a package was until UPS was invented. So many ways delivery systems work now is because of the Pony Express. The gold rush brought settlers to California to find gold and try to make a living and earn land off of the gold. The gold rush also brought settlers in from other places, and if that didn't happen, we would probably not have a large population like we do now. I mean, we are called the Golden State for a reason. If that didn't happen, we would probably be like any other state. We would have no unique history or historical background, and people wouldn't have known that there was gold here, and with that gold they could have earned money and gotten land off their plantation or gotten a plantation in the first place. There was a lot of missions in the West, and this brought a lot of Christian settlers over because they wanted to see the missions and the churches that they had. Missions also brought a lot of tourists to the West because they were such great attractions to see, and settlers from everywhere wanted to see them. And they also brought up the population as well in the West. If the missions weren't there, the amount of tourists we have would probably be half that because there isn't that much to look at. I mean, we have the Golden Gate Bridge and other things like that, but it's not as exciting if you don't have other things. And that is actually historical, where people can get to know our state more and know why it is what it is today. Not just in California, but in the West in general.